What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Disney podcast. That's right, Rob, Brandon, and Dave. We didn't die. We didn't
Guess who's back?
go to a different country. We weren't like Rumpelstiltskin. We didn't fall asleep for 100 years, but we're back.
We did.
Another Disney podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
It's mostly my fault.
Yeah, Rob and I were going to blame it on you, but I wanted to be kind in the intro.
Oh no. I can own it like a used car. That doesn't make any sense. What does that even mean? Rob, how are you? How are things?
I'm good. Hey, I'm just someone went on a trip. I'm dying to hear the stories. And
I know the last time I saw you,
Hopefully,
it was for your birthday show while I was at Disney.
yeah, that's
That
right.
was the last time I saw your face. Well, we've talked a couple times since then, but that was the last time I saw your beautiful face.
Thanks, man. I missed you guys.
I missed you too.
I didn't miss Brandon. I saw him twice.
I know you guys actually.
I did see Dave a lot. We stayed in a very tiny camper down by the
tiny
river, and it
floating hole.
rained.
Yep.
It rained for 63 hours straight.
I found
That
out
was
that my
Florida.
2007 camper is very and it's in incredible shape because
is.
it rained for about 40 and a half hours straight, and I only had one little like drip that was coming through the like top air conditioner holes, not like through the roof. And so I was ecstatic that like something from 47 years ago is still in that good a shape. So
That's awesome.
felt good. So I'm going to take it to the moon next because it's fine. I mean, the stuff that they take to the moon is only like, it's like what is it? It's like a tinfoil. Like the camper should be amazing in space.
Nice. Do a little flex seal. You're good to go. No worries.
That's right.
That's right.
Get that Flex Seal or Flex Tape, and you're all set.
Golly, it's crazy. Yeah, man, we had a good trip. I don't even remember when I went. Was it like in late January? Is that when it went? I don't even remember what it was.
It was a long time ago. It was like, I don't know.
It was the last weekend of January, so like it's
There you
only a
go.
month ago. It's only
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's right. Oh, when you went to Disney. Oh, because you've been back to
Yeah.
Florida since. So
Yeah,
it's
we went
crazy.
and stayed. We went and swam at the Daytona 500. It was a swimming race,
it was.
and it went swimmingly.
It did.
So yeah, Brandon came up from Orlando to Daytona Beach, and we camped at the track, and it was a lot of dude things. We did a lot of dude things.
A lot of dude things. Tune in for our podcast on that one tomorrow.
All
I think we have
four
a name of the
people.
show. A lot of dude things.
A lot of dude things.
I like that. Too
Yeah, it was a good trip, Rob. This was daddy son. I had taken daddy daughter in November, I think, and so this was me and Isaiah. We had a good time. It was gorgeous weather. Little like it was a hard one to pack for. It was like super freaking cold a few days and then super warm a few days. So it's like we had to pack everything. So
That's the
I'm
worst.
used to packing to go to Florida. It's like, well, tank tops and shorts and you're good. Flip flops, you're done. It's like we can do it all in an overnight bag. This was like we each needed a suitcase, winter jackets, and shorts.
And you needed it all day long, right? Pretty much.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll take it
80
over.
during the day, 30 at night.
Yep, I'll take
Good
it
old
over,
January in Florida.
over 119 in the shade in August. I'll take it. That was good. Now, I mean, there's one thing that we can cover before. Well, let's go back to it. Let's come back to it. We'll like end the show with that. So I got to do something based on Rob's suggestion that I had actually never heard of, and I did it, and I'm going to report about it because it's something we've never talked about on the show. And if you ever are in a situation where you get to use it, it'll be great information because I learned a ton,
Yeah,
and it's an
for
awesome
sure.
service they provide. And there's your
Dun,
sneak
dun,
peek. I'm not
dun.
telling you anymore.
Dun,
But we
Stay
figured there's a
tuned.
lot of crap to talk about because we
Stay
haven't talked
tuned.
about Disney in a month. But we're not going to go back and cover all of it. Like, oh, I mean, one fun thing to talk about. I was that we got to see. No one's going to care, but we got to go to Country Bear Jamboree on the last day of its operation, and apparently that evening and night it was a nightmare. To where they just started acting up. But we went in the middle of the day. We didn't really have to wait. It was, I mean, we must have got in there like 5 minutes before the previous show. So, but we went into the empty thing and just sat down in the air conditioning and hung out, and then when it opened, we watched the show, and it went off flawlessly. Everyone was singing and cheering and clapping at the end. So those kind of things are fun because like no one gives a crap about any of those old shows until they decide to take them away or they disappear for a while.
I know there were rock stars that night for sure.
But
So
then at the end, like apparently they just started freaking out, and like that at the end of the night, they were letting people come in and just walk through.
Yeah, it
Like
became a
nothing
walk
was
for
working?
attraction.
And
pretty much.
what was odd was they let him walk through with all the curtains closed.
Yeah, it was.
So I
Yeah,
guess
they
you
weren't
could
all-
see the 3 animals on the wall. And
It
that
was
was it.
weird.
So, but they did get like a poster for like the coming like for whatever the branding was for the what's coming new. That would have been cool to
Yeah,
get.
the new one. Yeah.
That'd
But
be
you
I've
went-
never
you-
been like there for like an ending of something or a first day of something. So that was
Yeah.
cool.
No, like mid-afternoon, you're like, yeah, it was nothing. We went through and like, you filmed it for me, that was my birthday gift, which was awesome. And like my friend Brandon, not Brandon on the show, my friend Brandon actually saw.
because he's
the
not
li-
my friend at all.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Brandon. My other friend Brandon, he does pub talk with me on my channel, but he was actually at the last show. He got footage of the last show, and like that one stanchion right to the right, they just kind of talked, and they were just like standing there like frozen, and then it flipped, and then the other guy was frozen, and then that was the last show. That was and they were coming back. People stood there for like 2.5 hours because I was watching a lot of YouTubers. They were just kept going on and on and on. They would go on 10, 15 times. I think Adam the Woo did it too. But and like you said, they got the poster at the end, and they walk through. Like I liked when Universe of Energy. You could see the dinosaurs. You could see everything just there. And
Yeah.
not these guys. I mean, during the show, they were actually. It's bizarre because I don't remember ever seeing those footage of the country bears breaking down or frozen like that. But
No,
literally the last day,
I never saw
couldn't
that.
make it.
I agree. I said Dave and I joked about that when it happened. I said in true Disney fashion, like they hype this thing up, like today's going to be the last day, and it stops working at like 1:00 in the afternoon. So I was like, there could have been any more Disney ending to the Country Bear Jamboree than that. There was definitely blood on the ground.
Oh, Big Al. Gotta love Big Al. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. The lines were all the way back
impressed.
past like the Haunted Mansion.
That's insane. We must have just hit it just right. Or I guess
You
people
did.
like, I mean, I get you Disney fanatics. I mean, I feel like I'm one of them, but like I was there on the last day, like, and so I got to see the whole show. It was awesome. And I didn't have to stand in line for two. Like, I don't know. I never like, I mean, I get it. Like, but unless like that's your favorite attraction, that's a silly thing for social media to just be like, I got to see the last one. No one's going to care. Sorry, that got really negative and dark real quick. I mean,
A lot
that's
of-
all for show. I mean,
A
come
lot of
on,
this stuff's like that. The last day, like it's such like I guess Splash Mountain was an exception, but a lot of this stuff, they made such a big deal, and it just kind of faded away. So
Yeah,
as
I
always.
mean, even if you look at Splash Mountain, like by the time that ride closed, that was operating in C mode. I mean, half of the animatronics didn't work. They already started painting like different stuff on parts of the attraction. So like, I never went to the, it being my favorite attraction. I never went to the last day because I wanted to remember it in its full
Yeah, for
glory,
sure.
not in its getified Disney shutdown glory.
For sure. But like
not in
the,
its COVID state.
the videos I saw that people that were going to see it or covering it or anything, like it's funny, like in my retro videos, like I went to I remember like the Bugs 3D movie, Bugs Life, whatever. I don't remember what it's called. It's tough to be a bug. And I have the footage and people are going nuts. They're screaming and yelling and like they were experiencing it for the first time. And that reminded me of the last day of Country Bear Jamboree. The people are singing along and screaming and clapping and standing O's and everything. It was comical. It really was funny. I did love it though. You didn't experience that, Dave, on your show?
Oh no, I mean not a standing ovation, but like everybody sang along and clapped to the songs, and then they clapped and cheered at the end. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
You'll
Okay.
hear it when I give you the video. Sorry, I found the camera today. I was like, oh. Rob was like, "Can I have that video that you recorded for me a month ago?" I was like, "Oh yeah, where's that camera?" I don't think I've touched it since this day.
Oh, I
Oh,
love my camera.
Work. Okay. So let's talk about some news and brews. Rob is drinking air. Brandon, you're drinking an IPA from a like local craft spot in Virginia Beach that I brought
Virginia
you.
Beach, 3-notched on the up IPA.
These guys got the best drinks ever. Like if you have a beverage or like an alcoholic beverage, hire these guys because they always get the good stuff and they cover it.
And knows it all.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm drinking. Let's see if it'll focus. Swilled hard cider, which is out of West Virginia. I always like it because it has this fun dog on it. You see him there, like he's.
Is it
he's
different or
in a
that's
different season? This is caramel apple. It doesn't taste anything like caramel.
Oh, geez. It's funny because you guys always have the coolest drinks. And one day I went and got like 6 different cool drinks, and then we didn't do alcohol for like months.
No, then we're like, we're not doing that.
I remember
anymore,
that. Rob was like, I got this sweet. Oh, you guys aren't even drinking. Oh, wait. News and Brews is over. Awesome, guys.
This is the first drink I've had from Daytona because we did a lot of guy things there. My body was like, you need a break, buddy. You need a break.
We won't tell all the stories, but Dave wrecked his e-bike and broke the seat off.
Yes. In the grass at the campground.
Let's just say I got a call in the middle of the night. That's how partying they were.
Brandon,
what stays in Daytona?
I'm usually like the annoying guy that does that, right? And so we called Rob, and then I was like, "Hey man, I'm so sorry. We're gonna let you go in our entertainment stupor." And then Brandon's like, "Call somebody else. Call somebody else."
Oh, it wasn't even the last call. That's funny.
I mean, it was pouring rain. We couldn't do anything else. It was pouring.
So we called Matthew. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, I crashed.
I love when you guys
I ripped a bolt. I shredded a bolt out of the seat, and I crashed like in the grass, going like, I don't know, 6 miles an hour. I basically kind of came to a stop sideways and fell over. And then the next morning, I was like, or maybe the seat had come completely off. I don't remember.
No, the seat was gone. You just reminded me of like. You just reminded me of like a turtle, you know, like when a turtle falls over and they're on their back in their shell and they're like,
gosh, I was laughing so hard. I was like, how do you crash stopping? Like normally you crash going too fast.
Well, I mean, you did hit the fence too on the way back.
Yeah. And was that in the pedestrian walkway? I remember that.
Correct.
Like I kind of bounced off of it.
That's probably why it's called a pedestrian walkway.
Maybe that's where the seat kind of went sideways. I don't know.
Okay. How did your racer do real quick before we move on?
He ran in the top 10 and 15 all day,
top
and then
15.
was part of the wreck.
Got involved in a crash. And
I saw
that's
that.
What's fun about Daytona.
That was terrible.
They go 190 miles an hour in the draft, and then somebody swerves and doesn't correct, and then 19 cars get taken out.
I did see that. I'm sorry, guys. That's
But he's doing great. He's in the top 5 in championship points and the top 3 in regular season points. So he's doing fantastic.
And we'll be right back to Dave and Brandon's NASCAR podcast.
People are like, what is happening? Okay, Disney news. I want to talk about the most compelling story that I found today. And it's kind of satire, but it's also like leads to a question. So apparently, I don't know if you know this, but in Storybook Circus, it certainly appears that there are plenty of rumblings that the Smelephants are coming to the flower beds, like permanent, like installs of the Smelephants, like the Smelephants on Parade from Dumbo, if you don't know. So anyway, like there are hints that keeps happening. Our guy at Blog Mickey, I love how he started this article. He said, Smelephants Watch has had some new developments in Magic Kingdom to the elation of only a single person, your humble author. So this guy is super fired up about it. But like, it's interesting because, I mean, I get it. Like if you're familiar with that area, right? You've got, there's lots of flower beds just off to the right as soon as you walk under the sign. And it kind of basically encompasses where all of the strollers go, right? Isn't that where most of that? And then throughout, then once you go, then I think it goes around where you would walk to go to the second, to the one on the left or the right, whatever, of the two Dumbo like mirrored attractions. But there's a decent amount on the right before you, like across from the big top thing. What I want to talk about, I mean, it'll be cute. That'll be fun. It'd be nice to add something, whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's how long has it been there? Now they're going to do that, but whatever. What I find interesting is you guys love Disney enough and have been there long enough to know that I can ask this trivia question, and I think you guys can answer it. Before that area was called that area, what was there first?
Was that Mickey's Toontown?
Yep. And
Back there, you 20,000
was-
Leagues Under the Sea back over there? Or
right, but
some of that?
what ride was there even during Toontown? I think it was there during Toontown. The Goofy's roller coaster,
Barnstormer.
the Barnstormer.
Oh,
Yeah.
It used to have actually. Now it's like you
There
go
was a
through a
barn.
billboard, but
It was
you
an
used to go
actual
into the
barn.
Okay, now I get that they have like the little choo-choo train thing that's like the little water park splash and play area.
Yeah.
And those two things go heavy, like obviously with Dumbo. And then there's a train where you can catch the train back there. And then, but like, it's like, am I missing something about like, they went heavy with Storybook Circus theme, obviously Dumbo. Does that really fit with the Goofy with Barnstormer? I feel like, and wasn't that there first, or did it all get built together?
I think when they did New Fantasyland, that's when they mixed it up and they changed up some of that stuff, right?
Right, but I think Barnstormer was there, right?
Right.
I feel like
Yeah.
that was there first, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
So
Barnstormer was definitely.
inquiring minds want to know, like, why is it all themed Dumbo, but it's like, oh yeah, Goofy's back there. It just throws me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like how that fits into a Storybook Circus. But I guess maybe because he's being shot out of a cannon. I guess that happens at a circus. Maybe I answered my own question.
Maybe.
Possibly,
Maybe, but I feel like the Magic Kingdom it's become the land of like the misfit toys, really. You know what I mean? Like you got Dumbo, you got Goofy in the Storybook Circus. You're gonna have Tiana in Frontierland. You know what I mean? And so I feel like it's just the island of misfit toys. So I agree with you. I don't know that Goofy belongs there anymore.
But you
But
can't
I don't
move
know. You can't move him, and I don't know how you could retheme the Barnstormer to some circus element.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. The hodgepodgeness has made Goofy's Barnstormer moot. It's kind of overshadowed one of my, I love it. It's like a little kid ride, but I love it. I know when we went on our first trip in 2010, when Toontown was still there, like Krista went off like to Toontown, and I know we stayed on Goofy's Barnstormer for like 27 rides in a row or something like that. And that's when they had the barn, and it was super cool.
I know.
So that's
Because the
actually one of my
exit queue-
favorite things.
I know the exit queue is all the chicken wire. Like it was themed so well. I'm so
cool.
confused as well. And when you went in there, you could hear all the chickens go. If you weren't on the ride, you could hear it like every time. Maybe the employees got tired. Maybe they were like, "We're quitting if you don't get rid of that chicken clucking every 12 seconds." And the other problem with that ride is it's 18 seconds long.
It is very short.
And you don't go twice, or you do go twice?
You go once. No, you go once.
That would be way too. That would be a good thing, Rob. They're not going to do that. And there's only one car on the track because it's too small. But it's fun. It's a great entry roller coaster for like a 3 to 4 year old. That's what's wonderful.
Or my wife.
Or Krista. Good point. Anyway, that's my fun. And then what else happened? Like I got Kim texted me an article or maybe something on TikTok where apparently somebody who hasn't been a Disney TikToker or whatever very long, this will all tie together, I promise. So that area now behind Tron, how you can now, they've reopened after the construction, you can now walk all the way over to Tron again from that area. But somebody like she sent me this article or this video and she was like, is this lady okay? And so I watched it and she was like, there's this new path that you can go. And I'm all like, that was the smoker's path. That's always been there. That's where you had to go walk through Black Lung, but it was a nice shortcut. I'm like, she must be new.
She must be new. But not everybody goes to Disney all the time. So like that could be somebody's first, like we always joke about people like, oh my God, there's the castle. Like we see it all the time.
Right.
But that could be somebody's first time ever
I
on
think
the
people get
smoker's
excited
path.
because when they go to Disneyland and they walk in, their first thing is, where's the castle? Because you can't see it when you walk in. It's so small. So I get that hype. Anyway, that was my fun first story. I was just like, storybooks. So they're adding yet another Dumbo theme, supposedly with the Smellephants on parade. And it's like, here's Goofy back there. He's like, well, oh gosh, here's my ride.
oh gosh. Yeah. They're slowly kicking Goofy out.
Have you guys ever been to Pete Silly's slideshow back there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never been there. I never ventured back there.
Like in the,
The
well,
character meet and greet.
Is
Yeah,
that where
oh
all the
gosh,
characters? Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
we
Dave,
did our
we're-
first trip. It was like princesses back there, which is weird, right? Wasn't it?
Yes, that was when Toontown was there. That's where we saw
okay.
all, like Belle and Cinderella. But Dave, were you with us, or do you remember when we went in to Pete Silly Circus and there was the dude? There was like this 45-year-old guy in line with us waiting to get pictures, and he had this weird furry attachment
Thing on his shoulder. Yes.
Yes.
And he was like, he would make it move and talk. Now, this was long before like Disney was selling these things. My man
Yes.
brought this to the park. It was just
I feel like he made this himself.
yes.
But it was the creepiest thing I've
Oh
ever
my
seen.
gosh.
This dude was super serious. He did not break character, and he
No.
had this weird rat-looking furry thing, and he made it talk to the characters who also had no idea what to do with this guy.
But
You could
now,
just see
what's funny is the joke's on us because Disney literally sells those things now.
that's right. That guy probably sold his design to Disney, and now he's rich.
But that was weird. My man was talking to, and I was like, and I don't think we had kids on that trip, so I was like,
Mm-mm.
why? Like, why are you talking to us? We're adults. It was really weird. But he was ahead of his time, so the joke's on us. But
That's
I
right.
definitely remember that creepy.
Yes. So all of that to say, yes, Rob, we've been to the Pete Silly Circus.
And there's
That's
some
awesome.
pretty delicious treats back there. They have like in the center of that. It's obviously a big. Well, the big top thing is a big store, and then in the middle of that store is like a whole bunch of delicious treats. And you exit
Deliciousness.
out of like the character meet and greet kind of in there, or you can go in there. Anyway, yeah, it's a cool little area.
Very
Okay, what do you guys
I dig
got?
it.
That was the Smellophants on parade. Tell your friends.
I got it. Yeah. The one that I found. Go ahead, Rob.
No, I was just questioning. Like, I'm looking at the article. Like, where did he find this rumor that it's coming or anything? He
I don't know.
Found it somewhere,
Well, this
or
was
just-
like the article makes it sound like this isn't the first time it said has had some new developments. Like, so
Okay.
this is an ongoing thing for him.
Yeah, I feel like he stalks the flower beds.
Very
He's like,
cool.
something's coming, and I'm going to figure out what it is.
Apparently there's like PVC pipes coming out of the ground, which are now hidden by what appears to be temporary foliage in the flower bed near the Casey Jr. Splash and Soak Station.
It's funny.
So there
So
you
we
go.
all know that PVC pipes mean smellophants.
Yeah, I guess.
Very cool.
But then he just for those of you who are dying and waiting in anticipation, we don't know if this is days, weeks, or years from arrival. We just know it's apparently in motion.
And-
Smellophants, tell your
And
friends.
we all know Disney timelines, so smellophants are great.
Nice. Sorry, Brandon. Go for it.
No,
What were
you're
you gonna
good. My story that I found intriguing was that it looks like a new limited time show is coming to Disney World, and that show is going to be based on Encanto. So, again, our friends at Blog Mickey have reported this. They found an audition posting, and they're working on bringing a limited time Encanto themed show to Disney World. Now, what I found interesting about this show is that in the description, it sounds very much like the Frozen sing along. Okay. We all know that Encanto is very sing along-y, right? We don't talk about Bruno, there's the Family Magical, great songs to sing along with. But this is the synopsis. And tell me, just substitute Frozen in here, right? Walt Disney Animation Studios Encanto tells the tale of Mirabelle and her extraordinary family, the Madrigals. And then you get to what they are seeking: 2 male or female presenting hosts who sing, demonstrate exceptional storytelling, and most importantly, can captivate the audience with their infectious and high energy presentation.
Comedy.
To me, this sounds just like the Historians and the Frozen sing along.
Yes.
So the question is, and I want to know what you guys think about this, because it doesn't really say, where would they put this kind of show at Disney World?
I know.
Hmm.
That definitely sounds like an
You know-
outdoor adventure. 'Cause
Yeah,
where?
in front of the castle, possibly. You know, it reeked of, or it like if we rewound a couple months, it sounded like that's the replacement for the Little Mermaid show. But we know that's coming back, so that can't be it either. So
And where is it at Magic Kingdom, right? Isn't that what it says?
It just says it's coming to Walt Disney World. It doesn't say
Oh,
where.
okay. That
Now,
changes things.
didn't we talk about they were bringing the Madrigals or something? It was not going to be an Animal Kingdom, right?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the one kid can talk to animals, so that I mean, there's a tie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah,
You
it's
know,
not.
you could also be like a special after hours event, and they just put it in the Frozen theater. Like that's just a wall of video. Who cares? They switched it up for what's it called, for the Nightmare Before Christmas. So why wouldn't they switch it up for possibly this?
Makes sense, Rob.
But it said like a
Yes.
limited time, right? I mean, it didn't
It
sound
does
like
say limited time. Yes,
doesn't say like
limited time Encanto show.
The new limited time offering will be performed live at Walt Disney World Resort.
Yeah.
So it could be anywhere.
In Disney fashion, it's extremely vague.
We're going to do this show somewhere in Florida.
Well, and also if you're not like they're just looking for talent, so it's like details are irrelevant. And this could be 8 months away.
It could be, but I'm excited about this. I like Encanto. I like the music of Encanto. And personally, I wouldn't be sad if it replaced Frozen in the Frozen theater. I feel like Frozen is played out. And we all know my feelings about Frozen Ever After at Epcot, right? So it wouldn't hurt my heart to see Frozen sing along go away and be replaced with something like this. I think it could be fun. Like I could see like performers in the aisles and down the side. And, I think about maybe the Oscars performance of We Don't Talk About Bruno, where like the performers came from everywhere in the theater and everybody was singing. I think it would be a great replacement for the Frozen sing along at this point. Even though that's wildly popular.
Second that.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess it's going to be behind Big Thunder Mountain because that's where they talked about expanding the. So that's where it's going to be.
Everything's going behind Big Thunder Mountain.
Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
What else? What else is there? The Beauty and the Beast theater, but I don't see that going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, there's no other real theaters.
Yeah, no, it leads. Yeah, that's my biggest speculation is where. Yeah.
Yeah, to me that doesn't lend like if you put that outside at the castle, it loses based on the description of what they're looking for, it loses like the intimacy between the performers and the audience. That's what's so great about the Frozen sing along. And I love it. I joke about it, but like the intimacy and like you can yell things and they can react to you. And to me, if you just put that in front of the castle, like it's like, I always joke, it's like giving a tic tac to a whale, right? Like it's just there's so much space and it kind of, those like Mickey's Friendship Fair and stuff like that. It would be much more effective in an enclosed space.
I think a good example is, I don't know if they did it this winter, but that show that they did for a considerable amount of time where it was like, and maybe they haven't done it since they froze the castle with the lights, but like they like Anna and Elsa and all her friends and stuff would come out. And like that show was really lost out there because there was way too much dialogue. And so like, I think that's kind of what you're saying. So if you've got two people that captivate, like, all of the castle shows have characters that say like a line or three, and then it goes into dancing or singing, or another group of characters comes out from behind the gate, like with the Friendship Fair or whatever. So that is not an environment where I think leads to like a Frozen style thing that has this whole storytelling that's going along with the fun and action that's on the screen, aka in this case would be on the stage of the castle. I feel like that would be disastrous because that winter like welcome the Elsa freezes the castle was way too much dialogue, at least for me. Like it's a hard time to follow it. Like that Kristoff would come on and they were talking, Anna and Elsa would come out and they thought Olaf would come, like she talked to everybody, and then finally you're like
just light the castle,
light the damn lights. My kids want you to let it go with the talking.
Oh, So that's all I got about Encanto. I like it. I dig it.
I'm excited to see where it lands. Like, as soon as they say it, we'll be like, "Oh, that totally makes sense," and then we'll know.
That's awesome. Speaking of landing, I just remembered this. Are they testing a drone show, Brandon? At Disney?
I have not seen anything about a drone show.
Yeah, like end of February. I remember seeing something.
They did it at Disney Springs. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember seeing something about testing a drone show, but I don't know. A viewer, I'm looking at WDW Magic. A viewer saw it while they're at Disney Springs. They saw some drone testing or something. So,
well, that's where they did it before, so that would make sense.
Yeah, be cool.
It's been years.
I want to see a drone show. I never saw one in person. I want to see it. So
yeah, they're fun. They're wild looking. At least I mean on TV from what I've seen or on YouTube.
Yeah,
they're
for sure.
Incredible.
So I got a story I'm excited about.
Go.
New Star Tours adventures inspired by, I don't know how you say it, Ahsoka? Is that how you say it?
Ahsoka.
Andor and the Mandalorian. You say Ahsoka, I say Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, Japan. I don't know.
I still don't know how to say it. My son's going to
Ahsoka, your mama.
So Andor and the Mandalorian debut April 5th, which is it's like a month away. Today is
month away.
March 5th. So cool. Disney announced the all new Star Tours adventures in addition to the previously announced destinations. Here's the announcement. So they're going to have, Mandalorian, Andor, and I don't even know Ahsoka. They're going to have those elements in the show. So they're a little goofy. They have the standard show, and then there's like insert your characters here, like during the show. So, but I still think it's kind of cool. I love the way it used to be not 3D, then it was 3D, and then they made it, varied it up and everything. So I love that when they do change Star Tours. I think that's really cool. And I was telling Dave before the show too, I wish they would do that with the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride. I wish they would just randomize that.
Oh gosh, yes. I wish there were different stories for that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe one day they'll do that too.
Maybe they'll get there. But I agree with you, Rob. Like, I love Star Tours. Like, it's like a classic thing that it can always change, right? Like, you can always add new scenes. You can always change it up a little bit to be like, hey, let's go check that out. And it moves people pretty quickly. A bunch of people can get on at once. So there's never like a huge, unless, and we're coming up on this time right now, unless it's spring break, you're not going to wait for 40 minutes for Star Tours. It's usually going to be, 15 minutes or less. And it's always fun. Like, you get chosen to be the spy.
With the
robots. And the queue is really cool.
Yeah,
the queue is really cool.
250 storyline variations aboard the attraction, which is kind of cool. So I've never seen it change up that much, but that's what they always claim.
Did you just say 250?
That's what
different
say,
stories. Every time I go on there, we're on crate.
Yeah, I always get Jar Jar Binks. Come on, seriously, Jar Jar. That's what I get. So, but
I am always on that scene with the red sand on crate. That's where.
I never even seen that. That's awesome.
That's where every time I'm on it. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy. I always get the same song every single time.
That's cool. So Disney World, Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris will get this Star Tours. The adventure continues with these new characters. So I'm excited. Very cool.
I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah. Gotta let us know.
I'll let you know how crate is.
Too funny. You're gonna get stuck with that again. So another discover we found earlier. You want to talk about this, Dave? It's minor, but they've added Disney animated classics to Living with the Land in EPCOT, which is weird. That came out today too. So they're very subtle. What were you saying? You want to talk about it, Dave?
I need to see a video. Like, I don't understand. Like, where? Like, what do they do? Like, are they talking about taking care of Mother Earth? Like, I'm so lost with this.
It's part of the International Flower and Garden Festival, which kicked off last week, by the way.
February 28th.
Yeah. And it just has the Little Mermaid book, and there's just like some little props there. Like, it's very, very subtle. It's nothing. Don't get too excited.
Isn't it like Snow White there too?
Yeah, Snow White. I'm just trying to look through the characters too. What the different things are.
Little Mermaid.
It's very mellow. So
Snow White, Moana.
like there's a crown there. There's like a book there. There's like
So
a picture of a crab there.
Where is this at on the attraction?
It's just sprinkled. It's sprinkled throughout the ride. Like this is mainly. It looks like it's in the back, where the what's it called? I forget what they call.
Like where they grow all
Greenhouse. It's a lot of it's in the greenhouse. So
okay, I'm
so
going
you know how
first.
like they do the Christmas decorations and the different things. They
So
just
it
try
says-
to get cute back
Dave,
there.
this is what it says. It says the first greenhouse dome is home to the 1989 classic, The Little Mermaid. The first set of theming sits under the large breadfruit tree. And that's right. I said breadfruit.
Breadfruit, yes.
And it contains a candelabra full of utensils, a pipe, a globe, and much more.
Okay.
So it's just little homages
Yeah.
to the movies thrown into the plants.
If you guys are watching YouTube, I'm going full screen. Okay. there's like I just want to talk about this. I got to get off my chest because I heard about it. I love living with the land. This is not me saying like I'm not one of those. You can't change this ride. No, like no, or it doesn't matter. I'll always love it. It's so great. And for those of you who don't love it, it's a great nap time. I mean, so it's a win if you love it. If it's a win if you hate it. I don't like. This is what people sat in a room and talked about this and made this decision. There are so many things we could be adding to EPCOT, and it's like, oh, we have space here with the plants. I don't understand where we're going with our ingenuity and creativity at Disney World. That we're like, put it like
Crazy.
Here, put it in the American Pavilion where they had that Indian American thing for 17 years, and switch
With
it
the
up
sneakers.
to this new thing with a skateboard and sneakers. Like I'm sure it's changed probably 10 times since then, but that felt like they were there forever. I don't know. I don't like. What are we? The people sat in there was a meeting, guys. There was a meeting about this.
It's sad though. Like this is a cheap, stupid little addition. It's a gimmick,
Yeah,
and they're going to advertise it. They're going to talk about it. Like, whoa, you know. But it's silly.
Come see Living
with
with the Land at our new additions. You put a book under a tree.
Did they bring Mike Braswell back? Because if not, it's going to be a weird interruption in the.
Dave, come into the meeting room. I have an idea. We got a lot of bread. We got a lot of breadfruit trees.
And you asked me to come into another meeting, I'd be like, no, I'm not going in there. No, I'm not stepping into the boardroom. You cannot get. There is no seat at the table for me. I'm not.
Dave, no, come to the table. I have a great idea. What we're going to do is we're going to put books.
No,
we're going to put books amongst the trees.
Are you going to have a crown?
Yeah, we could do that.
No, we're not doing this.
Just for one story, Dave. Just for one, because we all know that most Disney fans associate The Little Mermaid with breadfruit trees,
above ground plants,
plants in the sand.
I know I'm cynical. I'm just thinking like, man, you literally thought of 17 Cherry Tree Lane, and we're putting books in a plant ride. The first idea was really good. I just want to reiterate that. Okay, let's talk about I think everything at Magic Kingdom right now is everybody has eyes on it's Tiana Watch 2024.
Yes.
So much. I mean, we all know that they moved it up to the summer, or if you didn't know, now you know. So if you're planning a summer vacation, keep your fingers crossed because it may be there. I think, well, I'm hopeful that we'll find something. So D23 is putting on an event. Don't get excited. This is not like D23. At the later this month, the 23rd of March in Louisiana, they're having a down in New Orleans, and they're celebrating 15 years of The Princess and the Frog. So I think they're going to debut some more information, and they're going to hopefully announce a time frame. That's what I'm hopeful for. I mean, I guess we should be a little bit more than a time frame because we know it's summer. And I think this is worth talking about. Not that it's summer, but that the fact that does this feel, in your guys' opinion, does this feel like this is, I don't want to say considerably early, but earlier than you thought we would get this attraction?
Nah.
100, yeah, 100%.
I thought it was going to
Okay,
come to
Rob's-
fall.
yeah.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
And I'm with Brandon. Like I
They gotta
just
do
things
something.
take so long, but
Yeah.
now I'm thankful because we heard way early on that you guys remember saying they had already started on things. And so in my mind, I was like, well, if you started on things, this doesn't need to be a Tron length refurbishment. And like, it feels like everything takes so much longer now. And this feels way sooner than I would have imagined. And hopefully it's because that they've learned like all the stuff that they didn't have to, like they could create whatever they were going to be bringing in off site and didn't have to be doing it there. So I'm super encouraged that like, it sounds like they used their time wisely from announcing this to now open. So I am with Brandon and thinking this is ahead of schedule. We'll just call it that. It's ahead of schedule. So I'm
Yeah, I
excited
agree.
about that.
I agree. Like when we talk about Disney, and anytime they say coming X year, coming 23, 24, you immediately go, oh, well, it's going to be December of
Right.
whatever year that is. I mean, Splash Mountain closed its doors May 31st, 2023.
Mhm.
So to me, I feel like this ride is going to be open Memorial Day weekend of this year.
Oh,
and
damn.
and in Disney terms, that's unheard of. Like to refurbish an entire attraction in a year. You know,
I was
the
guessing
structure-
2 years when they closed it, but
the structure was there. The ride track is still the same, but it's still some pretty major interior work.
Mhm.
And to have this thing ready in a year and a couple months, to me, is Disney finally saying, look, we can't take 5 years to open a ride. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. The park down the street is building an entire park in a couple years. We
Yeah.
can't close Splash Mountain for 5 years and refurbish this thing. So
I mean,
it's, to me, it's a positive sign.
yeah. If you're not on Tiana's Bayou Adventure Watch 2024, let me catch you up. So they have been testing like the ride January, right? I mean, if not,
Yeah.
it was early February.
Yeah,
It felt like
early
right
February.
after we left, it was like, oh crap, they're already testing the thing. It may have been a couple of weeks. So that's happening. They've also, like, onlookers have noticed that they've changed the what do you call what you sit in? The logs.
Yeah.
There's
flume.
been some
Yeah.
changes to the logs.
flumes.
And the biggest clue that we're pretty close is March 1st, they pushed all the construction balls way back to like the entrance. So it's like
That's
really
awesome.
great. So
Oh, yeah, they exposed flower beds. and,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The walking path back there by the bathroom is open, and the paint.
Yeah.
You know, like they took the scaffolding off the paint on the
yeah.
like where you used to go in the building to get upstairs to go on the flume. So, like all signs point to all systems go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I don't think we haven't been on the air since they showed Tiana the animatronics, which
Oh,
looks
yes.
awesome too. So
Yeah, I showed that
She
to
looks
David
pretty cool.
Daytona. That looks amazing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
unreal. I mean, after what they showed on Navi River Journey, like it's kind of hard not to be like, well, you got to keep stepping up because that was freaking phenomenal. Which
you
that
think
went
there's only
away
gonna be-
recently and just came back.
well, what happened?
I think within the last couple of weeks, I think it went away and is now back. So I guess they had some minor repair that at least caused her to have to be yanked and then is put back. So whatever that means. But
Ride without that animatronic is just so sad.
oh gosh, could you imagine?
It's awful.
Yeah, it's like a video. I've
Yeah.
seen it once, I think.
Oh, you've never ridden
I'm
on
saying
it?
I've seen her not on the ride
Oh,
one time, I
ooh.
believe. Yes, like they just put the screen down, like and there's a video.
It's like
picture
the
of her.
choir of Navi people singing in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no
Funny.
like real.
But I wonder, do you think there's only going to be one Tiana, or you think there's going to be multiple scenes like the?
I feel like there's going to be multiple like iterations of Tiana, like during the movie Tiana, and then when you get to the end, like what happened after the story.
Okay.
You know, like
Cool.
because I got like Tiana's foods and like so. You know, she opens up this thing, and this is what she does after.
Well, I
You
think
know-
that's the ride is post movie. Like that's just
yeah.
that's what.
Yeah.
they
But
talk
I
about,
feel
so.
like it's going to be like the progression of Tiana.
That's a good.
And you think there's going to be a lot of screen? I think it's inevitable. I think there's going to be a lot of screens.
Oh man, I hope not, man.
don't know if they do it right. I think it'll look cool, but if it's all screens, then I hope not too. So, but who knows?
I don't feel like it's going to be a lot of screens. I feel like it's going to be what I imagine is the Bayou equivalent of the farmhouse scene from Living with the Land. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yep.
But like that's what I envision the inside of looking like. And I did see, I was looking at the Disney World pass holder page. Somebody went on the Keys to the Kingdom tour, and apparently they got to go inside the attraction and see. They weren't obviously not allowed to say anything or take any pictures or anything. But this person was like, "You're gonna love it." Nice. That's all they said. So I'm super hopeful.
That's cool.
We all know.
Do you think that the showboat soon's going to still be there? You think they got rid of that, or
I don't know. I don't know.
It's so close to the end. Could that be her restaurant? Maybe.
Yeah, that literally is like a New Orleans, seed. Like
turn that into like
a point. That's a good.
Turn that into like a front of a building facade, and that's like the porch of the restaurant, like on the Bayou Swamp.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And people like partying and playing jazz music. That's kind of what I picture in my head. But
yeah, that'd be dope. All right, speaking of food, we have to ask.
But real quick though, I have a feeling they're going to recycle a lot of those animals too, though, because they actually recycled them from America Sings originally to put them in this ride. So I think they're going to use some of the. You think they're going to use some of the original characters that they recycled from American Sings originally, or
I hope they do. I hope they hide them throughout the attraction as an homage to Splash Mountain.
I bet you. Sorry,
yeah.
Dave,
I mean, they reuse animatronics all the time, right?
Oh yeah.
But Abe Lincoln and wherever Carousel of Progress or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to tell you, we're still focusing on the wrong thing. The 2024 beignets in Magic Kingdom watch is the real thing. Are we going to finally get this? Because isn't there going to be like an eatery based on her, or no? Did I make?
Well, the rumor is they're going to turn Pecos Bills into some sort of Nolans eatery. They have those like fake beignets at like the Outpost right now, but they just look like weak. They look like weak croissants right now with just some powdered sugar on them.
Disneyland, y'all got it made.
I hope they get the real thing, like Port Orleans.
By the way, what happened to the
inside the park and in downtown Disney in California?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So lucky. What happened to what, Rob?
What happened to the pirate bar that we're going to open?
I know. Like I remember hearing about that too.
I feel like that's on that napkin. That's all that Josh Tomorrow napkin, just hanging out, and when things start slowing down at Disney, they'll just throw it out and be like, "Hey, remember the pirate bar?"
Oh,
there it is.
It'll end up in the Disney Family Museum framed in 30 years. Josh Tomorrow talked about this, and here's the napkin. It's from a meeting with the Bob that got fired.
Ouch! Too soon.
Absolutely not. Okay, let's wrap the show with our
tease,
back to the beginning, our tease, and that is I am not we talk about our kids and our families all the time and all the fun stuff that we get to do, but within the last 24 to 36 months, we had found out that our son has autism. It's a really, I hate to use this phrase because this is not a correct phrase, but I think it will help people understand. He is what you would call high functioning. If you met him, you would never, ever know. You would not have a clue. Right. But since he had this, we were like, well, he's not one, there are lots of kids that struggle with big crowds, loud noises. And I would say he doesn't really like to go things that are very, very loud for an extended period of time. That can be overwhelming for a while, but it can be overwhelming for me. But Rob let me know something. It's so funny being such a Disney nerd. I didn't know. And that is the DAS Pass. So Rob, explain what the DAS Pass is.
Yeah, I think, I'll be honest with you, I think you probably explained it better. So my son has special needs too, and we've used it a couple times on the last 3 trips. And basically what you do is when we started it, you would have to go to the you walk in and the
services.
customer
Mhm.
service, guest relations, and you would have to get it then. But now they have it actually where, you know, and I think it was just, I forget how we did it. I think it was just a piece of paper, I'll be honest with you. And then it evolved over the years, and they put it into your app now, and you could do it through your app, which is great.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go to customer service. You can go in
Yeah,
advance.
it's way different now. When you told me
Yeah.
all that, I'm like, yeah, it was nothing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. And then you schedule like a video call, believe it or not. And
Yeah,
you know,
that's what we did. So
the person
we
who has
found a
special
little
needs
thing
comes
on the
over, says
website,
hi. So yeah,
and it was literally
very
so
hard to
to back
find.
up, it stands for Disability Access Service, I think.
Something like that,
Disability, Disability Access Service. And so I'll give it to you guys in a nutshell, and then we'll unpack it. It's basically like it is not like the Fast Pass or Genie Plus. It is like saying, we want to ride this, and based on the wait time of that ride currently, it'll put you in line based on the standby time, and you don't have to stand in the line. You can come. So let's just say, this is going all over the place. Let's say we open up the app and Peter Pan is 60 minutes wait. Right?
Yeah,
Instead of
perfect example.
going and standing in line for 60 minutes, we select that we want to ride that attraction. We hit it, and in 60 minutes, we come back and go through the Disney Genie Plus line, but we didn't have to stand in line and wait for an hour and be in tight places for an hour. All the things that some people that would struggle with. That wasn't really Isaiah, but like time is good. Like standing in line still sucks for anybody that has disabilities like that. Now, again, very high functioning, for lack of a better term. So I went on the website, you just scheduled a time, and a cast member calls you, and it's a video call, and the person that you're going with, like, they have to see them. And it's not, at first I was like, what does this mean? I don't understand this. It's really, honestly, they take your picture. They took Isaiah's picture, and every time we went to the Disney Genie Plus line, he would scan his thing and his picture would pop up. So anybody in your party, so let's just say you have 6 people in your party, that person, it's smart to have them sign or hit their magic band first. Their picture will pop up, and then everybody else in the party can scan and go in. It was really simple because it was just me and Isaiah. So it was really easy. So to back that up, they met Isaiah. The cast member talked me through everything. And then we were within 2 weeks of our trip. And so they give you this list of all the parks, and I gave him the days, and they sent it to you through the chat app on the website. And you selected all of these. You could pick 3 attractions that you wanted to do from this list. And at first I was like, well, I'm still getting Disney. Why do I keep saying that? I'm going to still get Genie Plus, because is that what it's called? What's the paid version called? I never get this stuff right anymore.
That's it. Genie Plus.
Yeah. Genie Plus.
Genie. Okay. The paid version of Genie Plus. I was like, I'm still doing this because the ride selection, I'll be honest with you, it sucked. There weren't a lot of e-ticket attractions or rides in the list. And I called Rob, and I was texting Rob back and forth. I was like, I don't know, man, this doesn't really seem like, and Rob was trying to explain.
Trust me.
I couldn't get it because I'm like,
it is confusing.
The list sucks compared to there wasn't anything good in there. So
that was the initial list.
Three different choices. Yeah, we gave 3 different choices, and in those choices, we got you would get 1 per day, and then they were like, once you've done that, you can.
You did it so last minute though. You got to tell people that though.
I was like, okay, cool. I still didn't fully understand it, but all the ones in Hollywood Studios, we got nothing. So I was like, well, can you give us something crappy? And so I was like, okay, how about alien swirling saucers, whatever. So
I think that's what we got too.
But here's what I found out. Once you're in the park, you can ride anything. I went into the app and I'm like, why weren't all these not available on the website? I don't know why, but just don't get discouraged when you're like, I don't really see the value of this. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train wasn't on there. I mean, all these e-ticket attractions were not on there in any way, shape, or form. But anything that didn't involve a virtual queue was on there. I mean, everything. And so we still got Genie Plus, But I'll tell you, the DAS Pass for us was way more successful than
Right.
Genie Plus.
Yeah, but like if Seven Dwarfs is 75 minutes, you can't use anything else. You have to wait that 75 minutes, like you said.
right, sure. But
So,
because
but,
we got
but that's
Genie
where
Plus,
that's
we
where they
just
both
don't
come in
know.
handy. If you have both of them,
Yeah.
it's really good.
So I know for some
Excellent.
people they're like, why would you pay and then
Yeah.
get the well, it's just because we got to maximize as much as we could ride, right? And that again helps with Isaiah or anybody who needs a DAS Pass, because it's constantly something. We didn't have a lot of, well, Zay, we've got 72 minutes before we can get on our next attraction. It was just
Right.
like, oh, cool. Like, let's go get a Mickey bar, and in 30 minutes we can get on Pirates. And then after we would ride Pirates, we only had like 20 minutes left before our DAS Pass was available.
Right.
And so it was phenomenal. So if you haven't heard about it, just literally search DAS Pass. And so if you have like somebody in your family or party, and it would be good for everybody, or maybe it was up to 6 people. I don't know. Maybe there is a
Yeah, it has to be in your party. Like you can't just say, "Oh, hey, Joe, what are you doing here?" And you can just bring him on, because we actually had a friend that came down as a surprise, and I tried to get him on happily on the Frozen ride, and they wouldn't allow him to go with our party, so because he's not part of my.
So
my
it was.
peeps, so.
It was like, so. Rob, thank you for introducing that to me.
Yeah,
I would say I would.
Sorry, it wasn't more clear.
I don't know. Well, it had changed significantly since, like you guys, because you guys had a paper thing. Yeah, it was since they integrated it into the app. Oh, I mean, it was literally just like you would just scroll all the way down to the bottom, hit DAS, and then boom, and you didn't have to select anybody. It always had. But again, the key is, well, first of all, don't abuse it, because that's just, you're a butthole if you do that. But like, the thing is, if the person in the party that it's intended for doesn't scan, you're not getting on.
Right.
Like every time you go to scan it, it'll turn blue. So if you've ever been early or late to your attraction and you hit it and you're like, it doesn't turn green, it would always turn blue, whether Isaiah scanned first or not, or me, because they have to physically look on their screen, see Isaiah's picture, look at Isaiah, and then they approve it, and the rest of the people in your party. Again,
and they do it nonchalantly.
That person doesn't have to be first. It just speeds up the process. Because if somebody, if you have 3 people in your party, they're going to be like, oh, where is Isaiah? They're going to be looking for the person. So anyway, it was fantastic. We will definitely use it as long as we feel like Isaiah would benefit from that every time we go to the park. And it's free of charge. I don't know if I mentioned that. It does not cost anything.
It is free, yeah.
Yep.
I said the paper because Universal still does paper, and we went to not Disney. We went to Legoland, and they have paper system too. But in the old days, you would have to go to the actual ride. You would have to go to Peter Pan, and then you scan it. They say, okay, come back, in that time. That's the way they used to do it. Yeah. Now it's the app, which is great. So we would have to chug over, get the thing, and then go up to another ride, and then come chug over the park.
It's like the old paper fast pass system.
It was crazy. Yeah. But then they've modified it so much, and I'm glad you got that.
I had honestly never heard of it. You would think having a kid with
and like if you broke your leg, or you have a physical disability, and if you have special needs, like that's it covers with all that stuff. But they're very strict about it. Like
they are very strict about it.
Sure.
Because we went to meet up with Dave, and he was like, "We got to go to the safari," and I was like, "Well, let's see if we can go with you." And he's like, "They will not let you. Like, they're not going to let you on there, even though you're like with us." So we just hung out at the the Tusker.
Did you try it? Because I think because Brandon is part of your friend network. So
but he wasn't like, you physically had to tell everybody that was going to be in your party for that trip during the call or the chat with the cast member.
So next time, Dave, you just have to say, "I'm going to be your party." Yeah, but no, I'm not going to abuse the system. Like, it's there for people. It's there for people who truly need it.
From 12 hours away to visit you, and you can't ride a ride with us. That sucks, right? I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose. But that was on me. I should have just included them. Duh.
Things happen.
We only got Genie Plus for Magic Kingdom because I felt we really needed it. We didn't really need it for Animal Kingdom. We really didn't need it for EPCOT. Kind of didn't need it for what's it called, for Studios, but we just really got it for Magic Kingdom. But I know you got it for everything, so
yeah,
but for sure.
I want to say it did. Yeah, because it's standby now. We were able to use it for Rise because that's.
Oh yeah, I was going to say there's stuff where you can't even get with Genie Plus that you could even use with this too, which is amazing. So There's some of the extra rides, yeah, for
That
sure.
was cool.
Rides.
But
We
yeah,
did
it
for
was
rides.
not. I'm fairly certain it was not Tron and definitely not Guardians. But which is fine. Like we used I think we paid
haven't been
for
there
Tron
since, so.
and maybe
Yeah.
I think we hit on
Individual
Guardians.
lightning lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the virtual queue for things. So
I got lucky with Rise. We went, it was closed, so they gave us a paper pass, and then we went back and got the DAS pass. So
nice.
we really beat the system.
There you go. Double dip.
It was
the way
nice.
to
So
do
we
it.
actually got
It's
to
the
go
way
on
to do
it
it.
twice.
All right. It was good to come back. I was good. There's some
Yeah.
good stuff to chat about. It'd be interesting what happens. We can talk about the
Still doesn't work, Rob.
thing next show. The Bayou Adventure in whatever it's called. Does it work for me? Sorry if you're not watching.
I got nothing.
Oh, there it goes. I just get a thumbs up.
You got a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was great. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your patience, everyone.
a great show.
Life is crazy. We traveled a lot. We got sick. We went to Disney, and now we're back.
And now we're back. And we may see you next week, and we may see you in 17 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
You know.
Yes.
Well,
Until next time.
All right, kids.
As the kids say. Bicycle.
Peace.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.